Adorable, yes. Not scary, but Boo is a start.
Hotel Transylvania 2. Yes, they made a sequel to the kid-friendly animation version of the beloved Universal icons of the 30s and 40s. The first one was funny and entertaining, even though it may have misguided those hardcore horror fans to see their favorite monsters seduced to, well, this. It also brought some elements from the classics into this movie, like Mavis's personality from Dracula's Daughter, and the character of Jonathan named after Jonathan Harker from the novel, and now a baby? Yes, Mavis and Jonathan have a baby, but not before getting married inside the hotel in the very beginning of the film, and Drac still tells them to lower it with the kissing. Overprotective SOB. So now we have a baby named Dennis. Is he a vampire, or is he a human? Well, Mavis doesn't mind what he is, but Dracula is determined to know. He wants his damn grandson to be a vampire, and Mavis tries to convince him that he's not, and now Mavis begins to be the overprotective parent. I guess that passes on in the family.
Proofing a guillotine? So you cut your finger off. It's part of the fun.
She made me baby-proof the whole hotel. Someone's overprotective.
Yeah, just like you, Drac. One minor incident that has me scratching my head is Dracula's plan to get Dennis's fangs to come out. Cause, yes, he still wants the little bastard to get his fangs out, so he pitches up a plan to get his fangs out, and we see a glimpse of the scheme Dracula plans, and we notice that it's just the two out hunting, and since Drac's the grandfather and Dennis is the grandson, they share the same flesh and blood. So, just Dracula should be able to teach Dennis the ways of the Force. I mean fangs, vampire ways, whatever. He doesn't do a great job at it either. Towards the beginning of the film, Dracula tries to teach him how to become a bat, and he doesn't even crack any ounce of wisdom on how to do it. He just says, like, now you try. And this is the result.
I'm a bat. I'm a bat. I'm a bat. I'm a bat. I'm a bat.
And then it somehow leads to this. So yeah, now he plans to go out with Dennis on a hunt, and he brings all his monster friends with him? Wait, why? Like I said, Drac and Dennis are the same flesh and blood, and what we saw in that hallucination can actually work if it's just the two, and Dracula can show Dennis how to eat with his fangs. So how on earth can other beings help Dennis out? They don't even do much to help, they fuck everything up and ruin what Dracula planned. Dummy. And the Invisible Man doesn't do anything during the trip. He's useless. Then Drac throws Dennis off of a big-ass cliff because he thinks he'll fly, which he doesn't. Oh god, what's going on? None of what's happening matters at all, because this whole time, it was anger that concealed Dennis to becoming a vampire. I guess the Hulk should have taught him then. Another thing that's striking is, just look at him. He's like 5 years old and he's already a fully trained ass-kicking vampire within like 5 seconds. And beforehand, there was a vampire camp that Drac took Dennis where the little kids learned how to be vampires. And even Dracula. And these kids sing songs and train hard to be vampires. But look at Dennis. He didn't need that shit. That camp ain't got nothing. Another interesting part about this film is the character of Vlad, who is based off of the real-life Vlad the Impaler, who inspired Bram Stoker to create Dracula. But now Vlad is Dracula's dad, and he looks old as shit. He's voiced by comedy legend Mel Brooks, and he does a great job. But his character resides in a cave that's addressed to the number 666. I'm not kidding, you actually see the number of the devil in a kid's movie. Clear as fucking day. Kids probably won't know what it means, but still, that's pretty insane. Also, a little side note, one of the main villain vampires is named Bela. No idea where they got that name from.
Bela, shut your blotto. Look what you started.
Also, one thing I forgot to mention in my review of the first film is the design of Dracula. It all comes down to Bela Lugosi, because he was the most famous for playing Dracula, and he was even buried in the Dracula cape. That proves how iconic he is, buried in the cape and recognized through the look of Drac in these films.
I am Dracula.
But the 1931 film is not the only one that is tributed in this film. They even bring up the stupid hairdo look in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, and my favorite line is when the real Dracula sees that look.
What are you, nuts? I ordered it online. It was the only place that delivered overnight.
You look like you got the baboon's butt on your head. Have you at least...
Wow. Even Vlad acknowledges it.
Well,
What's that thing on your head? Looks like my grandmother's boobies.
Yes, he said boobies. Talk to your parents, kids.
Mother's already.
Nazi cuckoo, Nazi cuckoo. Oh dear, oh dear, oh my devil. I have to follow protocol.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Mother's already.
I'm sorry, I just had to show that part. They still have those Samsung phones, and even Dracula gets one, but he can't do anything because of those long-ass nails. This movie's all about discussing individual scenes.
yeah, got it. Maybe you should just get Bluetooth.
Okay. Bluetooth, come over here. So now what?
But I better wrap this review up and say that the ending is a lot better than the first one because no one sings. Instead, the theme for the whole movie is I'm in Love with a Monster by Fifth Harmony, which is played in the beginning and end. It's a decent song, honestly. I downloaded it and listened to it often than you know.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a monster. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a monster.
Happy ending for the Drac Pack, with plenty actions towards the end and a great song for the ending. Both Hotel Transylvania movies, I think, are on par with one another. They have great moments and a great storyline, but like I said, if you want to stick with the classics and how you like the way these icons were treated back then avoid this movie. But if you want something different, I mean really different, then give these two movies a watch. But wait, there's going to be a third movie. Yeah, coming in 2018, and it's going to involve more elements from the classics like an ancestor of Van Helsing, Dracula's arch nemesis. It's apparently taking place on a cruise ship, and all hell will break loose, I'm sure. Can't wait for that. But until then, stay tuned for more of my movie reviews. Let's end this on a good note. No, shut it off.